It's Dr. Lawrence Lowe, who is an IFMSA Honorary Life Member, was elected as an HLM in Copenhagen in 2011. And he's currently a family and public health physician serving as a medical specialist for the Public Health Agency of Canada, as well as an adjunct lecturer at the Dalai Lama School of Public Health at the University of Toronto. He trained at the University of Western Ontario, and completed his residency at the University of Toronto, and completed his Master of Public Health here in the great city of Baltimore at Johns Hopkins School of Public Health. I'd like to invite Dr. Lowe to the stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, gathered here for the IFMSA March Meeting 2013. I'd like to welcome you on behalf of a great group of IFMSA alumni who are seated right there in the middle of the room. I'd also to welcome you to Baltimore on behalf of the World Medical Association's Junior Doctors Network. I was a former regional coordinator for the Americas, and I am so thrilled that this city in the United States is hosting the first conference back in the US since 1975. Tonight. Welcome, please enjoy. I've got my formal introduction out of the way, and I'll tell you what I want to talk about is about the relationships and collaborations that you will build here, and the power that they have, and the great things you will do with them. For those of you who are here at a GA for the first time, you may not know this just yet, but you're in for a treat. Those that have been here before, and that includes all of you alumni, know what I'm about to say is true. That right here in this meeting, this is where the magic of IFMSA happens. What magic, you might ask? Not too long ago, myself and all the other alumni gathered back there were in the same position as all of you. We were medical students that were interested in a little bit more than anatomy and pathology and physiology. IFMSA represented a tremendous opportunity. And yes, even plenaries with unending bylaw changes were an opportunity. There was this whole idea that you could meet like-minded people from everywhere else, and somehow making the world a better place was on everybody's mind. That is the potential that is always here at a General Assembly. Who will I meet? What will they teach me? What will I share with them? And what will we be inspired to do together? I'm almost a decade away from the first time I came to a GA, and I now see that the energy of a General Assembly extends far beyond this 1 week that you share. If anything, IFMSA opens doors for all of us to collaborate, realizing that when you take away the differences, we share much in common. Deep down inside, we all have hopes and dreams, and we all share an idealism and passion to make this world a better place. We live in a world that is more electronically connected than ever before. However, IFMSA folks understand that nothing replaces the human contact of sitting across from an old friend over food and drink, sharing stories, and spending time in person. For me today, those precious meetups are fewer and farther between, but are often the very moments that have rekindled my passion and reminded me that IFMSA people everywhere are doing good and making waves. The friends I met from GAs at IFMSA remain close to me, and some of them are here tonight. Many attended my wedding. They were co-founders of nonprofit organizations, co-authors on research papers, and the reason for many, many weeks and many dollars spent traveling. One of the nonprofit organizations that I helped co-found was the 53rd Week. And essentially, it came out of years of friendship with another co-founder who was supposed to be here tonight, but he's actually just getting off a plane from Chicago. It started 5 years ago at a Chicago pizzeria on the back of a napkin, where we identified an earnest desire to reduce the harms and maximize the benefits of short-term medical volunteer trips abroad. We tapped into our IFMSA network to find other collaborators, and our organization today is striving to work on a pilot project in the Dominican Republic, using research and innovation to shift the balance of benefits towards the receiving communities that are being served, and not just the institutions and students that go on these trips. This was an opportunity that IFMSA brought about, one of a multitude of opportunities that IFMSA gives all of you. It is a richness of friendships from all over the world that drives ideas we may never have imagined. I believe that when faced with the decision to go or stay, IFMSA people will always go, because you'll never know what you might learn, and you'll never know what good might come from working with someone halfway around the world. Arnold Toynbee once famously said that society is the total network of relations between human beings. The components of society are thus not the human beings, but the relationships between them. In a social structure, individuals are only the foci in a network of relationships. Indeed, the relationships you forge here, you will build forward in time, and those relationships will be the basis for putting your dreams into action. And as you solidify your networks at home and abroad, you will become a conduit in the global health community. You will link your local friends with your global friends. You become an exchange for ideas and knowledge, and you'll bring the best of your home country to the world at large, and the best of the world at large to your own hometown. By doing this, you will make the world more open and inclusive. You will find yourself caught up in the initiatives that will answer the hard questions of our times, and you will build bridges between nations that will cut through ignorance, discord, and assumption. It is a modern paradox that we live in an era where it's easier than ever to tap into the collective knowledge both about who we share this planet with and how this planet works. But the actual actions taken by our leaders and people in power have engendered feelings of resentment amongst people despite the immense challenges facing all our societies today. In our growing need for unity and collective solutions, all of us have seen close friends and family grow ever more apathetic and despairing, worn by the perceived futility of trying to make small victories add up against insurmountable battles. We, the young generation of physicians, regardless of where we come from, will one day be at the center of these battles. And by battles, I mean not just the epidemic of obesity and chronic disease, our aging populations, and the new and re-emerging infectious threats, serious as they are. No, we will also battle against growing inequality and discrimination. We will fight against fear and misinformation, and we will have to take on the growing environmental crises and emergencies and disasters. No matter where you come from, we are all facing the same challenges, be it in Manila or Manama, Cairo or Caracas, Auckland or Accra, Vancouver or Vienna. Attending this meeting, simply by being here, is a start towards the solutions. The friendships you build here will be the network you rely on, and when you've got a question, you'll reach across time and space, oceans and borders to get the answer from a friend who's on the ground there. In the last decade of my early career, I've seen this personally. When a crisis occurs in the news, when I read about Arab Spring, or when I hear about people taking a stand all over the streets of our world cities, I only need to read my Facebook newsfeed to see my very friends from IFMSA that I once talked with about these issues leading the charge. When disaster strikes, my IFMSA friends are the ones on the front lines, and we, far away, are supporting them with research, advocacy, and education. We're virtually there. When I have a question about medical education and training in another country, I need to only fire off an email and set up a Skype conversation, and I'm quickly reminded that time zones don't really matter among old friends, and that you may actually be chatting with people at the strangest hours. Not a day goes by where I am not working on something with a friend that I met in IFMSA, or I'm hearing about something awesome that an IFMSA friend is doing. The World Medical Association Junior Doctors Network, which is in attendance at this meeting today, is a good example. It is the first platform for interns and residents and young physicians worldwide, and welcomes any IFMSA alumni who are looking to continue building a more understanding world after medical school. This network also started out similar to the other project I've been involved. It was honestly a simple conversation in a Boston kitchen with an old friend of mine from New Zealand. Again, we reached out to our group of IFMSA alumni, and before long, we were rekindling those relationships, trading ideas, and building the network that is here today. Truthfully, you'll never know where your ideas and relationships will take you. And even when it isn't all business, when you're just hanging out with an old IFMSA friend, you'll spend that time reminiscing about that one GA where you grew together. You'll remember that one time when you found out that even if you don't eat all the same things for breakfast and you don't speak the same language, you still stayed up all night, shared stories and ideas, and as the sun rose, you realized that there is nothing more beautiful in this world than simple, honest friendship. You also realize you'd probably both be falling asleep in the standing committee meeting that morning, which would also be another shared experience. But in any case, you will learn plenty in your medical school careers and your postgraduate residency careers, on the wards, in the books about the medical stuff. but the skills you will need to change the world, that starts here. In this place, over this week, you will learn more than you'll ever learn in a book. You will meet the friends who you'll tackle our generation's challenges with. These are consultations and referrals that go beyond the walls of a hospital, beyond borders. It's hard to explain to folks who are outside of IFMSA about the idealism and openness that these GAs are filled with. It's also tough to ascertain if it's just that IFMSA attracts these people, or if being here has somewhat of a transformative effect. However, if you've ever looked at Google Maps and decided that 800 kilometers is a perfectly close distance to go visit a friend for a night, true story. If mixing multiple expressions in totally different languages is how you roll, if every holiday you receive greetings from all over the world, and if your iTunes can't seem to make up its mind which continent it's on, then you are starting out on this great adventure, and you understand the promise and potential that this meeting represents for humanity. Magic. But more so, hope for the world. And it's nothing to be laughed at. The true power in IFMSA lies in the development of honest, straightforward, diverse relationships built on memories, trust, common values, and shared dreams. When you meet someone from far away and you befriend them, you develop experiences and trust. And as my mom always used to say, trust is the basis of any relationship. In a world that faces enormous challenges, our trusting each other becomes caring and sharing. From sharing arises knowledge and ideas, and from ideas, action. So in this week, I want you to share those dreams, hear one another, learn from one another, and work together. With much thanks to our IFMSA USA hosts for putting this whole thing together, and their IFMSA USA predecessors, many of whom past presidents and past executive committee members are here with the alumni contingent tonight. I want to say Viva PAMSA, Viva IFMSA, and together let's build a dream. This is where the magic happens. All of us today are part of a worldwide family which doesn't just imagine a greater world, we build it. Let these transformative experiences solidify your values and beliefs and give you relationships that will follow you for your entire professional career. And always remain hopeful while working towards a world that is fair, just, and beautiful for everyone. Thank you.
I do want to thank Dr. Lowe for encouragement in making MM 2013 USA happen. I'd like to give him one more round of applause.